I just got up again. Uh, I'm not even up yet, really. I'm still on the couch. When I go to bed at night, everybody says, you go to bed at night? What time? I says, oh, I don't go to bed. And they look at me and they go, you don't go to bed? No, I go to couch. My wife goes to bed. When we 25 years ago, we became celibate, so I don't sleep with her anymore. So I'm sleep on the couch. So when I go to bed at night, I go to couch at night. And it's real comfortable. I got it. I bought some couches that got these great big pillows and a lot of them too. And you can put them in all different types of positions to brace your back or to brace your head and this and that and be real comfortable and then go to sleep. And when I do get sleep, anyways, I got to talk to you about something. And to do that, I'm not going to wear glasses because this is real serious what I got to talk to you about. You all know that I'm a mix of a lot of, if you've watched my tapes, you know that I'm a mix of a lot of people. Arabs, Irish, Italian, Sicilian, Italian. Sicily is not Italy. Sicily is the island off of Italy. I'm a Sicilian. I come from North Africa. I'm an Arab heritage. My ancestry goes back to the 900s and 1100s AD in Sicily when the Muslims came in and took over the Arabs from 900 to 1100. And if you weren't Muslim, you got beheaded. So I must have been a Muslim in my heritage. I don't know anything about my heritage. So I'm discovering it. And I found out lots of things that they want to come over here and bring all their laws over here. And we're supposed to let them accept it and let them live in their own little communities obeying these laws, that their Sharia or whatever it is that they believe in. I don't know much about I'm going to learn, but I don't know much about my heritage as a Muslim because I just found out. I didn't know it all my whole life. I thought I was an Irishman. Then I started digging into it, and my mother's Italian, uh, from Sicilian Italian. So her father was born in Naples. See, I'm going to be bugged by the devil. He's going to bounce right in the beat. See how he's got me up? Now I forgot what I was going to do. Oh, darn it. I got to shut him off. I got to shut the TV off. Because, see, there's demons in the phones and the televisions and all that. Father Rippinger will tell you that. He's an exorcist. If you put your mind in the wrong places on the phone and on TV and stuff, a demon will come on in and you'll get possessed. There's demons in these things, people. You sit around playing with yourself all day long. I don't mean with your physically playing with yourself. I'm saying in your mind and mentally, you're playing with yourself all day long on these phones. I know because I do it too. But I do it with the intention of instructing, and I never watch any fantasy films. I only go if it's educational. And I don't care where the education is coming from. China, India, the whole world. I don't know where the education is coming in. But if it's educational, I'll watch it. That's why I belong to YouTube. YouTube's my channel. I pay every year for it, and it's worth it. No commercials, most of the time. Sometimes they sneak in somehow. I don't know how they do it, but they sneak in. And I say, "Hey, man, what's going on here? I'm a premier member here. I don't have commercials. What's going on?" And then and I don't. It's rare though. But when I do get them, that's how I complain. Hey, I'm paying, man. What's going on here? Why I got commercials? because they slip up once in a while. Nobody's perfect. YouTube isn't perfect either. As well as I'm not perfect. But what I get off on, see how I get off? That's the lecture in me. You know, I was a school teacher. I lectured. I had my fantasy about whatever it was I was talking about, what I know about it, and how I present it. I was a school teacher, certified, New York State. I worked with juvenile delinquents, felony offenders, and learning disabled. I evaluated them, filled out forms, and their weaknesses and their strengths and all that stuff. And I worked as actually an undercover agent, really, for BOCES, because these kids, felony offenders, they chopped a leg off of a monitor when they were playing hockey at night, and the monitor came down, wanted to play hockey with them, and he got a hockey stick, and they got out in the middle. He's the guy that takes your smoking privileges away, and he punishes you, takes you down to timeout, sticks you in the timeout, you know, and you got to sit there until you cool down, and if you don't want to go down there voluntarily, he's got to take you down there. So they're not too friendly about the monitors, and that's how I got in. The BOCES, I went in as a monitor. We didn't think he would work for $6,800 a year. I just wanted to get in the system. And I got in the system, then I become a TA, teaching assistant, and then they saw that I had the skills, and I went away to college and all that stuff for a while to get my master's. I'm working on my master's, so they gave me a position. BOCES on top of the hill, a great big huge office, man. Classroom. Office classroom, really. I enjoyed it, man. It was a good time. There's a whole story about it in my videos. I'm not going to take and go off there. I've got so much going on up here. You know what I think it's from in my old age? I'm stimulating my brain. I found this new gadget on it's called an EPOV. EPA. So I think that's what it's called. What is this thing? Oh, come on now. POVE. EPOV. Something like that. That's what this thing is called. And I have been using it very gently on the tip of my nose. Oh my goodness. I had clogged up sinuses just a few minutes ago now. Now watch. I'm breathing. And there's a spot in the back here if you put it on, over on this side. If you put it on there, it will clear all your sinuses up in your forehead. Your forehead and your nose. I'm a reflexologist. I have a 2-year sports medicine degree from St. Petersburg Junior College in Clearwater. I graduated there in 1975. I left just before graduation. I ran into the devil. Professor, he knew I was very religious, and he was going to make it so I got an F. And I had to maintain a 2.0 average to stay in college. So I hightailed it out of there. I went to another college. He was after me, so I says, I'm out of here. I'm not going to fight the devil. Oh, yeah, there's a whole big, long story what happened. So, anyways, I went to St. Leo, and I got on an honor student. I was an honor student there. Had everything I liked, theology, philosophy, whole works. But there is a secret there that I have to reveal. And they're a university now, and they're advertising themselves as a Catholic university. I'm questioning that. Because when I went there, I went into the class. My first class was theology, the beginnings of theology. I'm going to turn this off because it's distracting me. the beginnings of theology and all that stuff. And the instructor was there, and he's standing there, and he's looking, at us all, and we all sat down. We're all sitting down. And he says, "I am not a Christian. We're here. All we are. We're all going to St. Leo College, And he goes, I am not a Christian, but I am qualified to teach the course. And by the end of that course, there were guys standing up saying they weren't going to believe in Christianity anymore. So the devil snuck in with the government. When I was there 50 years ago, I don't know what it's like now. 76, I'm talking about 76. All the people that were on the staff for theology in St. Leo College down there, see, the state rented the facility off the Abbey and used the Abbey as the blanket, the cover up. Here you go. You want to send all your religious people, Oh, St. Leo College. Oh, I'll send my child to a Catholic college. You're not. It's a parochial label, but it is influenced by non-Christians. And they're there to make it so you don't believe anymore. And they try everything to make it so they can embarrass you or, you wouldn't believe what I went through. It's in my videos. Everybody tried to get me to prove me that I was not worthy, I was evil or something. They all tried to, but they didn't succeed because I was led by the Holy Spirit. God was working in me, man. They put my hand, he had a prophet put his hand on my head, says, you will be a scholar. And I go, I'm thinking, oh my God. I'm a ninth grade dropout. He doesn't know that, though, because nobody knew me at the retreat I went to. I went to a Holy Spirit retreat up in Connecticut. Roy Lejeune was the guy's name, right? And I was sponsored by a local man here in Binghamton. So they did that, and then after that happened, I says, oh, okay, well, thank you very much. I'm going to be a scholar, huh? And I said, I'm a ninth grade dropout. I better get out of here. These people are nuts. They can't. I'm going to be a scholar. I'm a ninth grade dropout. Let me out of this place, is what the devil's trying to tell me. Get out of here, Billy. Get out of here. That's what he'll call you Billy. I'm Bill. And he'll call me Billy. But God calls me Billy too. Or sometimes he calls me William when he's stern about it. He's like, come on now, William. Straighten up. Changes his voice and everything. Changes my voice. It's like I've been sick for 740 days. I used to have a higher voice than this. I used to have a tenor voice. But I've been coughing and hacking for 740 days. And now my voice is low. I got a low voice now. So when I bark in my own home, I do bark once in a while when I get treated unjustly, like the phone companies. There's a whole video about that. I blessed them all. I stood back because they're using AI, the one you pay for, AI that works for you, and they listen to what's going on, and then they tell you in an earphone, or they tell you on writing what to do to make it so they don't have to pay you back any money because you got your phone there and there. So I don't want to get into that, but they're using AI to tell them, because I caught her. I said, she had her hand on her ear like this, While she was talking to me, she had her hand over her ear. She didn't realize. She just thought I wouldn't notice, I knew she was listening to something, and it was listening to me talk, and then it was responding to what I said, that they could tell me so I didn't get my money back from my phone that went wild on me. I'm trying to trade it back in because that was their deal, you know. You trade in for any reason. So I'm back there. I'm trying to trade it in because Spectrum sent me there. So I go there and I sign in. I get up there and I just look at there's all these dots on the bottom of my screen here. Red, yellow, green, all that stuff. Little teeny, about the size of a pinhead, going across my screen, you know, about right down in here, this part of my screen, you know, right here. So this isn't the phone. I'm making a tape on the phone that isn't happening. I got two phones the same, S24s. So you won't see those. Well, you wouldn't see them anyways because, see, I'm getting off track. Oh man, getting old. I just keep on going and going. I've made videos 4.5 hours long with no script, not even the notes to look at. You know, okay, talk about this. If you're talking about that, then make sure you add this, stuff like that, which I should be doing. Because I look at these tapes and I should have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Oh my God. You can't, I don't know how to go back and edit myself. So if you hear of any mistakes that I make verbally or something like that, I do it. I'll be thinking one thing and saying another sometimes in my factual presentation of what I'm trying to present to you. And it's all fact. I do not lie. I tell the truth, man. I even tell the truth when I got molested, what happened. I don't lie. There's things that I've done that I won't. You can just use your imagination. If you can imagine, I probably did it when I was a teenager. So now my wife's going to interrupt me. She, look, slam this, slam that. Like, see, because I'm talking about myself, revealing about my past. She doesn't approve of that. So she listens to me when I make my videos. And then when I start going off track where she doesn't think that's right, she'll come up and start opening doors and closing them and, you know, slamming the light switch on or something like that to distract me. I'll see how it is. What was I just talking about? That's the way she does it. She's very smart. I've been with her for 60 years. I forgive her though. I just wanted to make a note of it. You know, so we're both going to die, so this will just be a note. What the heck, you know? She's 76, I'm 76. How many more years we got? I don't know. We don't know either. She fell, broke her ankle within 6 months ago, or maybe a year ago now. And then she just got carotid artery surgery. They took out they couldn't unclot it, so they just cut it out and then sutured the two ends of the vein back together. But now she's got blood going to her head, and she's perking up, and she's getting feisty. She wants to fight again. I'm too old to fight. I just got a big bark. I just bark. I go around. Like, even the cats, as soon as I start barking, you know, because I'm bitching about something, you know, why isn't this house getting cleaned up? Why can't, where's my ambition to get this house clean? Why can't I do it? I got to do everything. But she's getting better. I notice that she's sleeping good, and her blood is going to her head now, and she's making a comeback. My wife is making a comeback, and I'm going downhill. I can't get off the couch. 740 days with long COVID. Man, it's not fun coughing and hacking and choking. Usually in my past days. You hear that? Something wrong in my lungs. I coughed like that for 740 days, people, just like this. every day. And now God says, don't worry, Billy, you get COVID, but you won't be harmed. I go, 740 days, God? Well, you're not harmed. You're coughing. You don't have any cilia left in your lungs. You smoked. And you dissolved those cilia. So when you get old, you got to send your lungs out. And you got to cough to get it out. Because the cilia will not remove it. Because you dissolved it. The resins are in your lungs. And you dissolved the hairs in your lungs. Now, in your old age, the only way you can get your lungs cleaned out is to cough it out. But I'm still strong as a bull. Hey, I'll knock you out cold if you give me some. You want some? Come get some. But watch me hit the heavy bag first before you come get some. Because if you come get some, you'll wake up 2 weeks later in a hospital looking at the light above your head thinking it's the moon. If you mess with me. Now, this is an act, people. I'm acting right now. I'm not a bad actor. I knew, I didn't know Sly Stallone personally, but my brother Mike was friends of his. They laughed and had joked and all that other stuff together. You know, my brother hung out with him. But then Sly went his way, and my brother went his way. He was a number one in the world. He knocked out the African champion in the 5th round. Oh, if we only get that movie, that was the greatest middleweight fight in the world. I believe it was. My brother came out of his corner, the African champion who was knocking everybody out. He had to fight a top 10, somebody in the top 10. And my brother was rated number 5 in the world. So they got Mike to come out and fly out, Johannesburg. Mike was in super shape, man. The best shape in his life. And he'd been sparring Emil Griffith, 4-time world champion, welterweight and middleweight. And cruiser middleweight, what was 156, 147. I don't know if he went to even. He was 4-time world champion, my brother Mike, his sparring partner. And my brother Mike's knocking him around the ring. And Gil Clancy, the guy who's Emil Griffith's trainer, is looking at my brother saying, oh man, this is the next world's champion right here, trying to get his contract. But I was weary of it. You get Mike in New York City, and none of my friends from Binghamton ever lasted because they get drunk in a bar, and they all got knifed. All of them. Just drunk. I can see my brother drunk in some bar, and he's a fighter. And he might knock a bunch of people out, but and he goes back to the bar and drinks after he knocks them all out, and they all leave, and they come back. What do they come back with? 8-inch knives. They come in with their hood up, and my brother doesn't recognize them because he's been drinking, and more. Or whoever it is, the guys that I knew that got knifed, this is what happened. I knew this one guy. His name was Spike. And he would not go to a bar and drink unless they had mugs, frosted mugs. He wouldn't get a drink unless it was a frosted mug or a frosted pitcher, because he'd drink right out of the pitcher, Big pitcher, glass, back then. Not so much plastic. But the mugs were in the freezer, and they were frozen. Then they fill the beer up in them, and you're sticking it in, you're drinking a big mug of beer. But you know what that mug is? See my fist? I got a big fist. This is my head. If I hit you right here with just a good solid left right here, your eyes are going to be going. Because that's what happens every time I hit guys like that. I had the punch of a middleweight heavyweight because I was a weightlifter. and I was strong, upper body. My legs, I ran 10 miles, and my legs weren't, I could have won a body. People wanted me to go for Mr. New York State middleweight division. But then I had one guy look me over and he says, no, your neck is too small and your legs, you should have done more on your legs. You're deficient there. So he was the judge. He was one of the judges, kind of like in that judges who's Mr. New York State. But I had the upper body. Oh man, I got some pictures. I put them on the Facebook. I can't find them now. I get all these pictures. All these pictures on Facebook, and I can't find them. I don't know how to find them because I had five Facebooks, or three or four Facebook pages, different names, and I forgot which ones I put them on. I had William Nixon. Then I had Carousel Capital Realty website, and William and Susan Nixon. And then there were some other ones that I had, I can't remember them all. I want to put them all in one, but you can't do that. So, anyways, that was when I was 20. Now I'm 76. Man, that's a long time. There's a lot of pictures I got there. I wonder if they've got them all. I have to hire somebody to do something like that, find out, research. Because when I die, what do they do with them? They inherit them? What do they do? Put all the transcripts together and write a movie? A book? Because I got 600 videos. Every one of them has a transcript. If you on YouTube, unless it's music. It's all music. But if you're talking and all that, there's a transcript that goes with your video. So you take all my transcripts and put them all together of all the videos I've made and get a team. You got a movie, man. I am the Rocky that never turned pro. I am the amateur Rocky. I knocked out the national champion the year before he became national champion. I knocked him out in the first round, 30 seconds of the first round. I fought him the year before he became national champion. And I fought the Navy champion. I beat him. Everybody knew I did. But he said to them, if I don't get decisions, I won't fight here. And that was their money. There had a lot of charities and all that stuff. And if he didn't fight there, nobody would come and watch because Navy champion wasn't fighting. And he said, if I don't get decisions, I'm not fighting here. So I beat him. Everybody knew I beat him. I had him in the second round. And my buddy, who was a CEO of over 600 people, and he's a millionaire, he lives in beautiful homes and stuff. And he was in my corner at the time because we were only 20, 21. He hadn't gotten to college yet, and neither have I, And he was in my corner, I'm fighting the Navy champion. He'll tell you, I kicked his butt, man. I kicked his butt. And I was still in the Navy technically because I was on TDRL, temporary retirement list, because of the hand grenade that hit me in the head. That actually hit me in the head, but I had my head, a pillow, and I had my head up against the I-beam of my ship. And the hand grenade went off on the outside of the ship and boom, threw my head forward and everything, man. Oh. Cracked the whole A-frame. You looked at it and it was cracked all the way up. I was sleeping in the guy's bunk. That's where I was. And he's a ship fitter welder, and I'm the apprentice ship fitter welder. I just got out of boot camp. I'm going to be taking his spot. He's got a stripe, and, he's walking around, and he's an officer and all that stuff, So, anyways, I'm going, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Saluting everybody. I just out of boot camp, Young. Could run with a deer, though, man. I was in good shape. But I had stitches in my side. It's a whole long story. Well, let me tell it. They wouldn't take me. Service wouldn't take me because I had scrotum problem with the testicle not being fully in the scrotum, it was on the side. And they can't take you unless you have both testicles in your scrotum. So I had an operation to try to fix that when I was younger, and it was very unsuccessful. I woke up with my nut tied to a 2x4 for weeks. Some doctor eating a sandwich and drinking a cup of coffee and making all this money off my insurance or whatever it is. It was on a government program anyways. So anyways, he's trying to fix it. So I can fix that. And I wake up with a 10-inch scar on my side in the morning. I feel this twang, twang. It's a string going from my left nut tied into my sack to a 2x4 surgically taped around my knee on my left leg. And I can go twang, twang like I'm playing the bass or something. Boom, bada boom, boom, boom. I could have. But every time I did it, I twang. Oh, jeepers. Oh. You don't fool around twanging that string, man. It's tied to your nuts. So all my buddies come. I have 4 buddies. They all came in, said, Nixon, what's happening? What's wrong? Man, how come what's going on? And I said, I got my nuts tied to a 2x4. And they go, oh, you don't have your nuts tied to a 2x4. Let us see. So I said, come on over here. And I had the covers, I had the covers like this, and I lifted up the covers like that, and I showed him the string going from my left nut to my left knee, holding my nut into my scrotum. And I'm in an agony, and they're going, oh, my. They all look and they go, oh. Well, they look at each other, Nixon's in the hospital with his nuts tied to the 2x4. Oh, man, let's get out of here, man. I just get out of here. You guys make me laugh. You're making me laugh, and I can't laugh. Ow, ow, ow. Because I got a 10-inch scar that's sutured, and I got stitches in it. And then I got my nut tied to the 2x4 to my left knee, I mean, is that suffering? If I offered that up to Jesus on the cross, do you think he'd accepted that as legitimate suffering? Oh, man. I'm telling you. And then he allowed me to go through that. God allowed me to go through that suffering, pain. Why? Because he repays you with the grace that you get from your suffering. Like myself, I'm suffering right now 740 days with this pneumonia, bronchial, and all that. After COVID. I had COVID for 14 days. I was delivered on December the 8th of 2023. And ever since then, I've had pneumonia. So you figure out how many days it's been. Last I counted from the 24th of November of 2023 because that is when I withdrew from... I got COVID. I got COVID on the 24th of November. I tested positive. It's when everybody was testing yourself, because there's a big scare. Yep, I was COVID. Had it 14 days. I was delivered on December the 8th. But I was assured in my prayers and my thing, don't worry, Bill, you will not be harmed. There'll be many that fall on your right and your left, 1,000 on your right and 10,000 on your left, but you will not be harmed. Because I had the miraculous medal on it, man. This is what I believe. And I got the miraculous medal. It's on here. It's right there. See it? There it is. And I wear it all the time. I pass it out, too. I pass out over 1,000 so far. Because I got 500 of them at a time. And I passed them all out. I think I got 1,500 this time. I can't remember. I start just passing them out. I don't give them to kids or anything like that. If I see children, and I don't go up to them and say, "Here, take these." No, if they're with their parents, I go up to their parents and I give it to them because I've been through that program that the Catholic Church has that you do not uh, present yourself to children at church or anything like that when their parents aren't around. That's the program I went through when you're working with youth. That's how they filter everything out, and make sure that the best probability is, you know, the children aren't going to be molested or anything. And I had to go through that program, so being a molested child, I really took it to heart because I was very self-conscious about, oh, God, why do I get itchy nose from this mustache right in the middle? It starts itching. So, anyways, I went through the program. I worked for the Catholic Church for 30 years as a CCD teacher. My wife is director of religious education for a big for a church that had many families in it, lots of children. We must have put 800 kids through confirmation and first communions and all that stuff, all the holidays and everything like that. We did that for 30 years. They gave us this medal right here. Where is it? Come on, I know I got it on me because it's clunky. And whenever you hear a twang, me coming, it's from St. Cyril's. See it? How does it say? Can you read that? St. Cyril's. For our 30 years of service. And we got a certificate from the Pope thanking us for 30 years. Then I hung the guitars up for 23. And then I caught COVID and I'm sitting around and I started playing the guitar again. Now I want to write a song. I think I'm blooming in my old age. God didn't let me bloom in the bars and all that stuff. I bloomed in the church. I played every Sunday, 400 or 500 people. I played, all my buddies, that playing in the bars, that play in front of thousands of people. I play in that in 1 week. Thousands of people in 1 week at one time in my life. I went to this one church there and I had a folk group. I don't know, there's 50 kids wanted to join my folk group. Susan and I with guitars and all that. They just, I was in a nice parish. It was a Catholic school parish up to the 8th grade, I think it was, or 9th grade. It was that type of a parish. And all the kids, man, they wanted to play the guitar and they wanted to sing. They wanted to be in a folk group. They wanted to be up in front of their parents singing in this choir, and singing the modern songs, or guitar songs and stuff. That's what I did. I did that for a while. And then I come back to St. Cyril's, and I was there for 30 years singing. I at the time, my voice has changed over years since I played the harmonica. And harmonica teaches you how to sing, people. That's why I think every child should have a harmonica. It's like, why can't they? What they can't? Here's what I want to say. Where was that? Can't use that one. Here it is right here. I'll use a C. Yeah, this is I think it's a C. Is that a C? Yep, that's a C. Okay, I'm using a C. Now that's a universal harmonica, blues harp harmonica is a C. And you can start out with a simple song. Not simple, but learn how to breathe in and out, exhale, and inhale. And then you can go. And then you can go to a song like the most beautiful statue I have in my house, I believe, is the statue of the Blessed Mother with Jesus, who is deceased, and he's in her arms, and she's hovering over him, crying, wiping his face off with her tears. can't go on.